इतना सा फर्क है एक बार सोच के छोड़ देने में और लग के कर दिखाने में। मान लेने में कि जिंदगी ऐसे ही कटेगी और सुबह 4 बजे उठ के सोचने में ये अभी तो बस शुरुआत है। किसी मैगजीन को हाथ में लेने में और उसी मैगजीन के कवर पेज पे होने में इतना सा ही तो फर्क है। वीआईपी सीट में और उसकी पिछली सीट में इतना सा ही तो फर्क है। वो जिसका मैदान ही खुला आसमान है वही कल जमीन पर तो था। पूछोगे तो बताएगा वो पंछी। ये एक दायरे में सिमटने में और पूरी दुनिया को दायरा बनाने में बस इतना सा फर्क है। इतना कितना है? इतना है या इतना है? जो नापेगा वो जाने कि जहां धरती और आसमान मिलते हैं, नानकुर से दूर, अगर मगर शायद से दूर, वहां भी दोनों में फर्क बस इतना सा है। धरती और सातवें आसमान में फर्क बस इतना सा है। ये एक अंतर प्रेरणा है। ये हमारी, आपकी, हम सब की अंतर प्रेरणा है। एक कदम, एक छलांग, एक बाजी, एक गहरी सांस और एक ललकार खुली हवाओं में कि हाँ मैं बना हूं उन फिजाओं के लिए, कि हाँ मैं बना हूं उन ऊंचाइयों के लिए जो ऊंची तो बहुत है पर नामुमकिन भी नहीं, क्योंकि मुमकिन और नामुमकिन में बस इतना सा फर्क है। धूप छांव में फर्क बस इतना सा। तो बस चलिए फ्रेंचाइज इंडिया के साथ ये फर्क मिटा देते हैं। फ्रेंचाइज इंडिया।
Hello and good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us on this webinar called Business Opportunity Over Chai. Business Opportunity Over Chai is a webinar series presented by the management of Franchise India every day at 12 o'clock in the afternoon with an aim to introduce you to a new business opportunity. Today, we have a Parenting and Child Development Institute brand called Parwarish Institute of Parenting. The Parwarish Institute of Parenting is a pioneering organization dedicated to transforming parenting and child development in India. Their mission is to create a positive and nurturing environment for children by empowering parents, educators with the skills, tools, and strategies needed to support their emotional, mental, and behavioral growth. To talk more about this brand and the business opportunity, I'm joined with Satyam Garg. He's the Executive Director of Franchise India Knowledge Services. And also, we have Sushant Kalra. He's the founder of Parwarish Institute of Parenting. But before we start the presentation and talk more about the brand and the business opportunity, I would like to inform all the viewers that you all have opportunity to ask questions related to the brand and the business. I would request you to please keep on posting your queries into the Q&A box to make this session more interactive. We will take up all your queries post the brand presentation. Now, I would invite Satyam to please come forward and set the context of this webinar, and then we'll move forward to talk about the presentation. Yeah, over to you, Sir Satyam.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Bharat, for giving us the opportunity yet again to talk about a potential business. And thank you for that kind introduction. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. And considering that, it's a working day, and you have joined us today. I'm sure you're very, very passionate and excited about starting your next entrepreneurship stint, or probably a first time entrepreneurship stint. And we are here to kind of help you, guide you, pick and select the right business for yourself. Today, as Bharat mentioned, we are going to pick up a very, very interesting segment. At Franchise India Knowledge Services, we typically bring forward to you business opportunities in the space of training, coaching, consulting, because A, these are businesses where you can use your skill set, experience, passion, and build a business around it. And B, these are very capital light business. All you have to put in is, some capital to kind of get the license, get the training resources that you would need to run a coaching, training, consulting business. and B, you are empowered with all the proven systems and resources that helps you build that kind of capability. So these are very capital light businesses, something that I call them, business from home opportunities. So if you are interesting, if you are really passionate about using your skill set and experience and building a business around that, then our opportunity today can be a great fit. It's a very, very interesting segment, and very, I would say, in India, there are not many people who are offering such services and solutions that we bring to you today. So it can be a great fit, provided it aligns with your vision and your passion. And just to kind of give you an idea today, what's the business opportunity that we're talking about? We are thrilled to introduce you to a very, very unique and impactful business opportunity with Parwarish Institute of Parenting, a pioneering name in the world of parenting education and child development. But I love the way the founder Sushant talks about, it's not a child development model, it's a human development model. As an investor, you will have the chance to be a part of a rapidly growing segment that addresses one of the fundamental needs in today's world, that is empowering parents and transforming the lives of children and parents both, I would say. In a world where parents are constantly seeking solutions to raise emotionally intelligent, resilient, and successful children, Parvarish stands as a trusted partner. With years of expertise, proven methodologies, and a deeply impactful curriculum, they have created a platform that bridges the gap between traditional parenting methods and modern challenges. Why this can be an exciting opportunity? It is a very fast growing segment. The demand for structured parenting education is at an all time high, with parents increasingly seeking guidance to navigate their child's growth in today's fast paced, ever changing world. This makes it one of the most, I would say, promising sectors to enter. And when you're looking at doing something impactful, you have to have a proven system, and partner with someone that are positioned as the leaders in the market. And Parvarish there has a established track record of creating life-changing outcomes for families, equipping parents with tools to raise children who are confident, happy, and future ready. It's a very low competition, high potential segment. As I said, it's a niche segment. Not many players are offering what we do, and that's why it makes it a very, very high potential opportunity. And it's a turnkey business model. Like all franchisees, you will have access to comprehensive training, ongoing support, well-structured research program that are ready to deliver value from day one. And the best part about it is, it's an opportunity where you can bring impact within your family as well first, and then you take it out to the world. So by investing in Parvarish, you are not just building a profitable venture, you're creating a positive social impact by helping families thrive and grow. So without taking much of the time, I think it's very, very important to hear it from the man himself, who's, I think, uh, left all the perks of life to build something which is as meaningful as Parvarish, and today continues to, you know, I call him, I whenever I talk to him, I feel like, there's so much excitement inside him to take this business to the world and make a impact. So without taking much of the time, I now call upon Shushant to take the session forward from here. Probably before that, we have a short video that we'll play, and then we get into the presentation.
Right now parents are on top. अब वो खा क्या रहा है, अब वो खेल क्या रहा है, अब वो पढ़ क्या रहा है. Right now if you think, one of the biggest objective of a parent has become, I have to keep my child happy.
Yes.
Right? A child says, मम्मी मैं बोर हो रहा हूँ. वो mom will do everything to make him feel good. अगर मैं ये नहीं मिला तो मैं रोने लग जाऊंगा, and he cries. You do everything to make him happy. That's not parenting.
My only grouse with Sushant is that he should have come up with this book 40 years ago. Then I would have benefited from the book.
Very grateful to Parwarish Institute of Parenting. Thank you very much, both of you, Sushant Kalra and Nupur Mahajan. So Sushant and Nupur, you made all of us smile.
Wow, I failed. Want to take this journey with me today? So normally, currently, where does failure leave you? It leaves you with disgust with yourself.
Let's start with a small game. What if I ask you guys to get up from your seat, run to the main gate of IIT and come back? I'm serious, guys. What happened?
It's so easy to say a mouth and it's so difficult to call a vagina a vagina. It's difficult, right?
It is such a fantastic program. It is there to help you enable your child's self-esteem to blossom, help them to study, deal with sex education, and after you've learned how to deal with it, it's really just no problem at all.
परवरिश का जो प्रोग्राम है मैंडेटरी होना चाहिए हर पेरेंट के लिए। अगर हर पेरेंट ये प्रोग्राम के साथ अपनी पेरेंटहुड स्टार्ट करेगा और अपने बच्चों को ब्रिंगिंग अप इस तरीके से करेगा तो कंट्री का फ्यूचर बदल सकता है यार। इंडिविजुअल फ्यूचर की तो बात ही छोड़ो, मतलब नेशन कहां से कहां पहुंच सकती है। इट कैन मेक अ ह्यूज डिफरेंस।
I'll get it done. You know, whatever issues parents are having with their children, there is a solution out there.
So you're on mute. Yeah.
Can you hear me? Can you see me clearly? Am I there available?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, great. Thanks, Satyam. Thanks, Bharat, for this opportunity. And really, thank you, everyone who's sitting there, who's looking at this. So I just want to take you through a small journey, okay, for you. And actually, I wanted to make it as interactive as possible. So my request is please use the chat box to connect and talk in chat. So मैं सबसे पहले ना एक सवाल पूछना चाह रहा था. Not like we'll be definitely looking at the business opportunity, but I wanted to ask you, how many of you are parents right now here? If you can use the chat, put it on the chat. आप लोग में से parents कौन हैं? And but I should do it in English, right? And they will be people from all across the country, right? So Hindi may not be the right language. Oh, you are there. Oh, there is a poll, right? Okay, there's a poll in front of you. If you can just put that on. Are you a parent? Yes or no? And second is, what's the age group of your children? Mm-hmm. Satyam, I can't see if somebody is voting because अभी मेरे को नहीं रिजल्ट्स दिखेंगे, शायद आपको देख के बताने पड़ेंगे.
I can see. So
अच्छा, you can see it. Okay, perfect, perfect.
About
so let's take 30 more seconds.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just take 30 more seconds and then we close it because let's give them some time. और जब आपको लगे कि हाँ आ गया, क्योंकि मेरे को ना पोल के रिजल्ट नहीं दिख रहे, so that's perfectly fine. You can read that.
Yeah.
Oh, up दिख गए. Oh, you've shown it. Great. Yeah. So, okay, 64% of the people here are parents. Great. And the age group is the largest batch is where they're younger than 5, younger than 3. Okay, great. And we have approximately 21% of the people who have teenage children. Great. So guys, a quick question to all of you parents, and people who are not even parents can answer it from yourself, because हम parents नहीं है तो हम बच्चे तो हैं. So what is this whole thought about parenting in your head currently? आप लोग what do you think when you hear of a word parenting? Because there is a world view around there that parenting is never learned. Parenting is comes naturally as we grow, as children come up, whatever issues we are facing, whatever we want to create for them, वो हम बनाते रहते हैं और करते रहते हैं. We do it like that. So, how many? What is your worldview? What is your view about parenting? When you hear the word parenting, ये सीखने की जरूरत है. Why should we learn it? What is it all about? How many of that kind of a thought? What's your first thought? If you can put that on the chat. And my request is let's keep interacting. I know chat is not the right way of interacting. I would have loved to be in front of you asking those questions, talking to each other, looking at each other, but we'll use this medium as the maximum. So, anybody, क्या लगता है parenting के बारे में? What kind of stuff you've heard? What is the first thought? What is parenting all about?
So I can see some responses in the chat box. Shushant, I'll read it for
I
you.
can't, yeah. I can't read. I can't see them.
Oh, okay. So I'll read it for you.
Okay,
on your
read it
behalf.
out. Perfect.
Yeah. Priya
Perfect.
says it's empathetic relationship. Monica says it's friendship.
Okay.
There's someone that says love and nurturing.
Mhm. And what about learning parenting? Parenting सीखने की क्या जरूरत है? Why? What is this all about? We need to do it. Issues around talk. Everybody is talking about learning parenting. If you go onto the net or if you go onto the Instagram or Facebook or wherever, there's so much of parent coaches. So it suddenly इतना कुछ आ गया. Any thoughts on that? Like why all that is happening right now? Anybody for this? So whatever the thought is, parenting is to bring up our kids in the most successful to live a meaningful life and be a game changer for the society. Wow, brilliant. It's about beautiful journey, learning to go through the womb and experience life in a completely different trajectory. Great. So guys, in the next 15, 20 minutes, okay, before Satyam introduces you to the business opportunity there is, let me just quickly tell you what are we talking about here. So whatever your thoughts behind parenting has been till now, it is going to alter in the next 15, 20 minutes. And I would request you to sit in this session, talk about it, listen to this in a very different manner, not from a perspective of sitting in here and sitting in here and listening to this for yourself. Great. So it's been 16 years. I will talk about my journey, the Parwarish journey in a bit. But what I want to talk about is this. How many of you have heard of the word called myth? Have you heard this word? Have you heard about what myth is all about? What mithya bhram भ्रांति होता क्या है? Anybody? So myth, you know, बहुत सारे examples होंगे आपके दिमाग में कि myth is something which is not true. Myth is something we all believe in without a proof. But there is one thing typical about a myth is that it is a truth before it's proven otherwise. Let me repeat that. Myth is a fact before it's proven otherwise. And I'll tell you why am I doing this conversation for you in a bit. But if I ask you this question, a few thousand years back, was Earth flat or round? If anybody can answer that question on the chat, was it round or was it flat? Can anybody talk about that? Can tell me why? Thousands of years back, was Earth flat or round? And you have to do it a bit fast because we have a limitation on time today. Anyone? So let me, yeah. Anju, it was not considered flat, by the way. For people at that time, Earth was flat. They would travel to a level and don't go further away because they will say, we will fall off from here. Even the boats they would send will have those ropes tied in case somebody slips, I have to pull them back. So at that point of time, when Earth was flat for them, was world travel, tourism, business, communication, cultural exchange, even possible? Absolutely not. It was not even thinkable. It didn't even exist. But the moment that myth broke for them, that Earth is actually not flat, but it's round. All what I just said became possible in that moment. I get it. I get it. It's not about the exact geometry of it. I get it. I'm just using a simple plain word that it's a round shape that you can travel one side and reach your side again at the end of the day, or maybe end of few days. So what I'm going to do today for you guys is actually break a few myths of what parenting is all about. What do we really mean by parenting? What do you mean by raising children? Because raising children is natural. Children get raised even if they don't have parents. वो बढ़ जाएंगे. That's natural. Raising human beings, raising the human potential is what I'm talking about here with you today. So you will be challenged today because a few of your myths, which you think who you are, who your child is, what parenting is all about, how do you do parenting, are going to break in the next minutes. So are we ready? Are you ready for breaking a few myths? And by the way, when we break the myths, the first thought which comes into our head is, oh, ये बकवास है, ऐसा नहीं होता. But let me tell you, Parwarish 2008, it's not an organization where one person has gone through some parenting and increased it and say, okay, ऐसा होता है, ये opinion है. This is not an opinion of mine. It's not somebody's opinion. There are people from the child development, human development, brain development, child psychology, human psychology group, which have all got together to bring you what we've done for the last 16 years. Our simple promise to every person who comes through these programs and learns this is that whatever you want for yourself and your children, and whatever you want for your family, whatever maybe you're dealing with, will get done, no questions asked. And we've done this work with more than 300,000 parents across the world, and this works. So my request would be keep looking at it from that angle. So first of all, what I wanted to talk about was, what are we talking about? Who are we talking about? Who are you? Who is your child? Who are the children we are talking about? So if I ask you to close your eyes for 30 seconds, if you're driving or walking, my request would be if you can just stay put for next 30 seconds, close your eyes and bring a real 2.5 to 3-year-old child in your mind. If you have a child who's in that age range, perfect. I saw 36% had a child below 3. That's beautiful. So a young child who's about 2.5, 3.5, it's not yours. Get into your mind a child who is, maybe it could be your neighbor, could be your friends, could be your family, anybody's. So I hope everybody's got a child in their mind who is in that age range, right? Now, answer this question, the next few questions, from the perspective of that particular child who you are thinking about. And my request would be if you can put it on the chat, a yes or a no. That will at least let me know that everybody's here engaged. And guys, I can tell you one thing, that this exercise is going to alter your life and your child's life and how you look at yourself and your children from today. So my request is please participate. So is this child who you have imagined is mostly happy? 70, 80, 90% of the time, they're generally happy in their life, enjoying life, masti kar rahe hain. Yes or no? You can put it on the chat, it'll be great, right? And there are times when they are not happy. When they are angry, they want to cry, they want to throw a tantrum, they are expressing themselves. It's not like that there is a very sad situation and they want to laugh and they will not laugh. They will laugh at all. Everybody is laughing and they want to cry and shout and throw a tantrum, they'll do it irrespective of what people think about them. So either they're happy or they're selfish. Have you noticed how these children address themselves? And if you notice, all of these children address themselves from their name. That they will say, Sushant wants to eat right now. Sushant wants to go out. Sushant wants to sleep right now. They use their name. The earlier years, child development experts used to call it egocentric behavior. In the Parwarish child development model, we say that every child is born with a huge level of self-esteem. For them, they are the center of the universe. How do you rate their self-confidence on a scale of 1 to 10? When a car door opens, where does this child sit? On the driver's seat. They want to drive. They know how they don't know how to drive, but they would want to drive. It's right up there. Actually, it is more than, if you ask me, I would rate them 100 out of 10 because they know they can't drive, but they want to drive. They said, "Mujhe chalana." Have you heard these children use a word called ape ape? I don't know. North, south of India, what does it? I think they say api api. They want to do everything themselves. They want to eat themselves. They want to take a bath themselves. The food will be all over the place. It may be falling over them. It may not be finished, but they want to do it themselves. They're full of love and care. They'll run around, they'll hug you, they'll kiss you. If you are tired, you come back home, you give them a hug, you feel so much of love and care from them. It's like so much of it. Once they're after something, they don't give up. If you don't give it, they'll go to your spouse. If your spouse doesn't give it, they'll go to your grandparents, nanny, nana, dada, dadi. They will hit their head on the floor. They will cry. They'll throw a tantrum, but they want it right now. They don't give up. They ask millions of questions in a day. What is happening? Why is happening? Everything is a question. They'll trouble us with questions from the time they get up to the time they sleep. And they want to explore everything. They want to put their finger in every socket. They want to open every drawer, put everything in their mouth, break it open. How many of you could see that these elements which I'm talking about is there in the child who you saw right now? Yes? Now think about it for a minute. If you see a human being who has all these qualities, what is this human being capable of? Can somebody put it on the chat? If a human being is happy, self-expressed, doesn't give up, high level of self-esteem, is an explorer, has self-confidence, is humane, relies on themselves, has ingenuity, what is this capable of? Absolutely unlimited potential. Now, every child, so you see there are about 70, 80 people on the call right now. And you imagine people who were there earlier. What does that mean? That every human being is born with these qualities. You, me, Satyam, Bharat, everybody who's sitting on this call, any human being is born with this. That's the game. That's your potential. That's what we are talking about. There is no limitation to what human beings can do. You and I can achieve anything, and your children can achieve anything. And that's how we are born. Now, if you really look at it, human brain is the most powerful brain in the known universe. But at birth, it's completely useless, if you ask. We can't even control our hand. We can't control our bowels. If we poop, we can't even move out of that poop. Till the time that irritates our skin and we start crying is when somebody will pick us up, clean us up, and put it up. They're incapable. The capability, the capacity, which is 100 billion neurons. How does it get into capability? It does it that by the inputs which we are getting. A human brain is creating these synaptic connections at a rate of 700 synaptics per second. 700 per second. And all those connections are being made by the people, the inputs which are given by the people around a child. And it starts with parents and grandparents and siblings and caretakers and everything. Now think about it. That is exactly our brain. Now, if I ask all of you, I don't know if you've gone into coaching or if you've gone into personal coaching or not, how many of you actually see for yourself? And if you can say it to me right here, great. If you can't, it's perfectly fine. That there are certain limiting beliefs each one of us has for ourselves. So I'll give you my own example. I was a very weak and a very small, in terms of height, child. Weak means I was not very physically strong child when I was in school. And children around me were very strong. I used to go to school fearful of getting bullied. I have to protect myself. And somewhere in my head myself, I used to keep calling, I'm weak, I'm weak, I'm weak. And by the way, that transpired into everything I did in my life until unless I broke it for myself. So I had a limiting self-belief that I am weak and I can't be strong. I'm sure each one of you could relate to something like that. Now that limiting self-belief got created in our childhood and are still continuing. Some of you may call yourself short-tempered. Some of you may call yourself introvert. I can't express myself. I can't do this. All those belief systems which you have for yourself, good ones and limiting ones, were created in our childhood. Are you with me, guys? Now, if you and parents around you can learn that instead of these limiting self-beliefs, the unlimiting belief that you are born without limit with limitless potential, you're born no limit, that's get created for you and your children. What would become possible for that human being? That I'm living my life knowing that I am capable of anything and everything and I don't have any limitations. The good news is that for people who have young children who are 2, 3 year old, this process will help them build the synaptic connection because it doesn't get done. And brain science tells us that our brains are plastic. Plasticity means that they can be rewired. So what Parvarish does with parents and through families is that building that brain connections which tell you that you are have unlimited potential. Now, whether you have a 10-year-old or a 15-year-old, 18-year-old, you can get rewired and actually start believing again, making it up again. So those barriers which you face in your life can be broken again. So as Satyam was saying, this is not about raising children. And think about it for a minute. If your child reaches this level, the current issues which you're facing with yourself or maybe with your children, your families, will this human being be able to break all those barriers and make sure those issues or barriers which you're facing right now disappear? Take a minute. Is this human being capable of going beyond the current issues which you're facing, which other parents are facing? So, for example, they don't eat properly or don't do study or they don't take care of their screen time, their behavior, their attitude, all that. Is this human being capable of making that happen? Guys, are you there? Yes or no? It may sound unrealistic right now. Why? Because right now the myth which we understand from ourselves that we have personalities, this is how we are, is getting broken. Each one of us, each one of you is born with unlimited potential, and that's what it is. So, guys, this is what we are talking about, that human development. So think about it. When these children who have limiting self-belief for themselves get into a school or a college, and you can take your own journey and think about yourself, or maybe get into a job or get into a business, all our learnings are based on what we create at the childhood. So that's the first building block of human development. And if there are limiting self-beliefs there, all our work in school, there were children who were great, there were children who couldn't do it. It's not that they were not capable. The point is they had limiting self-beliefs and they thought they can't do it. I can't do math. I can't do this. I can't be expressive. I can't do dance. I can't be on the stage. All those are at the bottom. And every education system, whether it is preschool or a school or a college or a university or maybe corporate training, are built on that. And that's why I say that this is what is the base of human development. And if we can do that with children, with parents, this will be a very different world altogether. How many of you could see this? Be with me. I'm saying this out. I can't hear you, but how many of you are with me in this process? And the potential is among us. And by the way, that's what led me to do this all my life. I was a vice president with a multinational organization in 2008 when I quit and I started this off. The first Parenting Institute was born in 2008. And over the last 16 years, we've developed a Parwarish no limit child development model, a contemporary child development model, which is not just based on their behavior, but based on child development, human development, brain science, all of that brought together. We have been invited over TEDx multiple times. I've done it myself 4 times. We've published a perfect parenting book, which was launched by no other than the education secretary of our country. And the first thing he said to me, which you saw in the video also, that Sushant, you should have published this book 40 years back. I would have used it for my child. We've been awarded as the uh, Education Award, the Parent and Teacher Coach Award. Right now, when I'm doing this session, guys, I'm actually sitting in a government school beyond Greater Noida and doing this exact training with the government school teachers. We do this work with teachers, so this is all about parenting with you today. So that's been the journey. And that's how what got me into do it. And Satyam was right. Even if you call me at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock at night, I'll be right up there with the same amount of energy because I know what shift this can actually do in every human's life. So moving forward, I'll quickly introduce you to how do we do it. There is a structure behind it, how we do it. All of it is there. How we get in parents, how do we move them from one level to the other. And with Parwarish, the parenting is not like a program. It's a lifelong support structure. So the parents who went through our program way back in 2014 are still with us. Tomorrow is the third Friday of the month, and I'm meeting them again. Third Friday of the month is blocked for an hour and a half, where the support structure continues. Because the child who's 3 today, 5 today will be very different at 8, very different at 14, very different. And a lot of stuff which is changing in the world, a parent and a child or a family will need support. So we keep doing that research and we keep coming back to it. So the model is very simple. It starts with creating deep, authentic relationships. Like there is no gap between you and your child. The family comes together like this. So you understand the child, you connect emotionally, you know that there are no limit. You can discover that for yourself. Parents around are aligned. I'm sure you would have noticed that a mother or a father or a grandparent have very different views of kya karna chahiye, kaise karna chahiye, what do we do with the child, how do you align them, how do you take care of your own triggers. Notice it for yourself. There are times when we get triggered. Our spouse gets triggered with something else, we get triggered with something else. And when we get triggered, we are not thinking logically, cognitively, and we are not able to deal with that situation. How do you understand that? How do you align other parents? So the program takes you very through so that you and your child and the family has deep, authentic relationship where there's nothing hidden. There is complete communication happening. They're listening to you, you are able to listen to them. Once that's done, the program takes to the next level where you ensure that how can your child take charge of their life. You are not responsible for their studies. You're responsible for getting them to school, but not getting them to study. So a child takes responsibility of their studies, their routine, their well-being, their hygiene, their relationships, their future. You educate them about sexuality, you educate them about screens, you educate them healthy habits, and they take charge of their life. Now take a minute and think. If they start taking charge of everything, then what will a parent do? आप करोगे क्या? When a parent or specifically women or mothers in our country spend 8 to 9 hours parenting their child. By the way, you just need 15 minutes to make that happen because your child takes charge. And all you need to do is create that support structure, which will require only 15 minutes of your time. So you are completely free to do what you want to do in your life, including the mother, including the father. So a lot of fathers think, yeah, main bacche ke saath, I can't be involved with the child much because I don't have too much of time. Parenting takes a lot of time. One more myth which I want to break right now is whenever you go to anybody who's saying, oh, these days parents don't give their child a time, you should give more time. Whether it is your school teacher or your principal or anybody around, give more time to a child. Actually, that's the biggest myth. Giving more time doesn't make a difference. 15 minutes are enough, but you need to know what needs to be done in that 15 minutes. So your child taking complete charge of your children. So my son right now is 24 and a half. My daughter is going to be 19 in the next month. Me and my wife haven't done anything for them since the time they were 3 year old. We never got them up for school. We never taught them. We never said exams ke liye pad lo, kha lo. We said, this is your responsibility. What we did was trained them, made them responsible, and we were off. And we're always available emotionally for support. Once that is established, the last part is how do they now play out full in their life? How can they not get stopped by failures? How can they manage peer pressure, sibling rivalry, the stress of exams, performance, time, emotions, relationships? Now, this system takes about 2 months to install in any family. And this is what the role of a parent coach is. And after that, they get into a lifelong support structure where they get the support from us in maintaining this. This is exactly what we've done in the last 16 years. Even today, if I have to deal with something with my daughter or my son, this is the model I go when I find the answer. So friends, that's the whole game. The promise of this entire thing is that your child, whether they are 3-year-old or 30-year-olds, will take complete responsibility of their life, their studies, their eating habits, their career, their relationships, everything. You as a parent will just take 15 minutes of your time. You will have a generative family. Generative family means there's a generator, right? Generator means which generates electricity, right? That's how we normally use the word generator. In your family, you're generating love, compassion, listening, understanding, harmony, togetherness. And it's a reservoir of positive energy. You're out there in the world playing it out, and your family is the place where you actually get recharged and playful out in your life. And you being the hero. So we never come in the way, we don't meet the child, we don't do anything else. Parents learn this, and this is not very difficult. Just takes about 2 months to learn it. And so, guys, this we've been doing for the last 16 years. And I met Satyam a few months back when I said, what is the way? Because I want this to be given and reaching out to every human being possible on earth. And that's my personal life mission. If you really ask me personally, this is what I want to do all my life. So he said, this is the way. Let's get more people. Let's get train more people. They can set it up. They can even hire more people. So the entire way that how will we coach you? How can you become that coach? And the beauty of it is by making this difference in the world, first with your own family, because that's first thing. If you do this for your family and make it happen, is when you get the power to make it happen for everybody. And in the process of making a difference to this world, you're actually making money. You are doing it as a business, as a vocation for yourself. But a small caveat, we would love people to have a passion for it. क्योंकि उसके बिना नहीं हो पाएगा. And to talk about how this opportunity is actually a business opportunity, how can you actually turn it into a vocation, build a business out of it, I will ask Satyam to do that. If you have any question, let me know. We can have those questions and Satyam can take you through how this entire process, any one of you, by the way, a lot of you may think, let me preempt that question. Do I need to be a psychology student? Do I need to learn human development? Do I need to do that courses before I join in? I will say no. I am a metallurgical engineer. I started my career as a engineer making steel for Steel Authority of India, then did my master's in finance and went into the business of finance. Like I went for Bank of America for 5 years. I worked in a venture capital fund. I worked for Max Life Insurance for 10 years. What is getting me to do this is complete passion, because I first implemented all that stuff in my own children. And then I got in people. So there are child development experts, there are human development experts, there are child psychologists, human psychologists in the team who helped us make this to the level I just shared with you. But do I coach parents? The answer is yes. Do I have those degrees? The answer is no. So can you do it? The answer is yes. If you have a degree, brilliant. If you don't have one, we'll train you, we'll certify you to make this happen. And we just have one promise from the parents and from people who join us, that this is all about making a difference to the human being. So there is no compromise on that. We will do whatever it takes to make that happen. So over to you, Satyam. I think I took a couple of minutes extra, but all yours.
No, we were all glued, and this was much needed, Sushant, because we need to understand what really is the science behind parenting, and the grid that you showed us. I can see all of those expressions on your face while you were presenting, Sushant. So, I want to ask this question on behalf of the audience is, what got you into this? How come one day you thought that this is the space that I want to get into, not just make impact or create a bright future for the country, but I also want to really make it a business. So what's the story behind that?
A very strange story, Satyam. So me and my wife, we are going to complete 30 years in a couple of days of marriage. And when we got married 30 years back, we didn't want to be parents. And the reason we didn't want to be parents was when we saw parents around us, we saw them struggling. We saw here The only thing parents are bothered about, he's not eating, he's not sleeping, he's not studying. So I saw parents in not happy, not expressing. I said, "ये तो मुसीबत है." And when we spoke to their children were saying, "Yeah, parents don't have anything else to do. They're on our number all the time. If you're studying, they'll say, "Bahar jao, khelo." If you're playing, they'll say, "Go study. Don't sit like that. Don't eat like that. Don't eat this. Eat this." So we saw parents trouble. We saw children troubled. We said, "Why do we need to bring a life in this world and make it troubled for ourselves?" But having said that, living in a huge Punjabi family, getting married and not having children is impossible. So we finally gave in to the social pressure. So one mom
I I guess Sushant, we're losing you in between. Yeah, sorry. I think we've lost Sushant due to a bad network. So maybe I'll take it up from here, Bharat, if you allow,
Sure.
to kind of talk about the business opportunity here. I know we are now just 10 minutes before to conclude. Uh, so Yeah. So, everyone, thank you for being with us. But what you just heard was, what's the real framework or the process that we follow when it comes to, working with parents and children and making an impact on their life. Now, why are we actually talking about all this today is because we find this a very, very lucrative business opportunity. So, if you are a working professional, if you are someone who's already achieved in life, looking at doing something more meaningful, this can be a great cause to work for, which will just not bring in fulfillment, but it will also bring in profits. So the opportunity here is to become a licensed partner of Parwarish Parenting, Institute of Parenting for your city. And there are two ways that you can do it. Either you can take up a individual model where you get trained, you get certified, and you get certified, and sorry and run the business. So you learn from Shushant and his team on how the entire model, framework, tools, resources work. How do you work with parents on a day-to-day basis? How do you work with children on a day-to-day basis and make that impact? So the opportunity as an individual licensee is that you become a part of our team, you undergo the training, you become a certified parenting coach with us, you get access to all our systems and resources, and there's a lot of ongoing handholding and support that is provided. So if you can see yourself doing this with parents and children, this can be a great opportunity. But if you are a little enterprising, you want to build it like a structured business, the second franchising model that we have is more in terms of, buying out exclusivity for the city. So you see that this is going to be the next big business opportunity in my region. So you buy the territory rights for us from us for a city. You just don't do it by yourself, but you can create a team of coaches under yourself, which will, of course, be trained and certified by Parvarish Institute of Parenting. And then you run it like a structured business. You provide the marketing and sales support to the coaches that you have, and the coaches then reach out to parents and children and make an impact on their life. It's a beautiful visual that we see, while we talk about making impact on parents and teachers, and we are always looking at people who are doing well in life. And here is Shushant sitting in a government school, training the teachers to do what we as parents want to do with our children. So that's the beauty about it. It's just not about working with parents or children. You also work with educational institutions. You also work with government departments, and it can be a great business model that can bring in a lot of growth and revenues to anyone that's looking at. But quickly, just to kind of show you, in case you decide whatever business model that you choose, in case you decide to partner with us, what's the support that you can expect from us? First is the training journey, there, and it's not a very, very easy learning process. Shushant and his team are going to make sure that you put in a lot of sweat and effort to learn and practice, because till the time you don't have implemented any it at your place, you cannot go out and implement it in the market. So that's why the training journey is long, but we ensure that you learn the system right and implement it in the right manner. Then we as the master franchisee, work with you to get you started, where we put in your market plan, go to market plan. We help you with events, lead generation at an initial level to get you started. You get access to all our resources. So there's a separate dashboard that you have access to, where all the tools, templates, framework, resources, presentations are available to you, so that you don't have to worry about creating these things. You are investing into a franchise business and you get access to it. To ensure that you're moving forward, to ensure that you have all the hand holding that you would need, there would be bi-weekly calls with our partner success teams, our marketing teams, our project head, to ensure that we provide you a lot of support. Time to time, the Parwarish community across India would conduct a lot of conference, workshops, events. Sushant was just talking about, a meet that he has with his clients every once in a while. I was with him in Mumbai in November for a franchise exhibition, and one day before that, he was at Bandra complex with all his clients in Bombay, spending time interacting with them, and it was such a good feeling to see, that we're just not talking about that we really want to bring impact, or we are making impact, but we actually could see the life stories. I remember at the franchise exhibition in Bombay, there were parents that would come and meet him and thank him for the work that he has done. So this is real stuff that we do on ground. There would be team training days. There would be a lot of anything in terms of technology that you would need to get your business started, your CRMs, your payment collection tools, any operational support that you would need. Because see, what I said at the start is, I position them as a business from home opportunities. So we don't want you to worry about creating systems and processes to run the business. We want you to be absorbed in learning and implementing things. Anything that you would need to build and operate that business, all those systems are provided by us. So that's the kind of support that you can expect, irrespective of the business models that you choose. Now, if I talk about the financials, but before I go into the financials, there are what are the ways of making revenue? Of course, the ways of making revenue is when you facilitate the program. So you become a certified parenting coach and you go out in the market, facilitate the programs that are built by Parvarish, and make money. But because the learning curve is pretty long at the start, we have referrals, we have digital products, we have internship programs that ensures that you start making revenues from the moment you join the team. So while you're learning, while you're adapting the system in your personal life, you're also making some income to keep the business floating. And then when you are trained and certified, you can actually start facilitating program and make more money. We also feel that, as the business grows, as the business scale, we would be needing a team of master coaches as well. So if you're doing well with what we have taught you and you're implementing things in the right manner, maybe in the next 3 to 4 years, you can elevate yourself as a master coach with us, and that can be an additional revenue stream for yourself. So starting from referrals, digital products, internship programs, facilitation, customized one-to-one coaching sessions, and the master coach program, these can be the different revenue streams for your business. And remember, I keep telling this to all my clients that meet us for knowledge based businesses is, this is not a business where you need 50, 100, 200 clients to make good money. At any given point in time, if you have a group of 15, 20 parents and children that is working with you, you're looking at a very, very lucrative, financially lucrative business for yourself. Now look around yourself and see whether you can find those 15, 20 parents or not. I can tell you, when you look around, you will find much more than that. That's the need of the market. That's the potential in the market. Everyone needs it. I myself have a 18-month-old child, and my wife and I are always looking for advice online. Everything that we want to do with our child, experiment anything. Instagram is our first go-to place. We try and see what's there, what are people talking about it, what are influencers talking about it. But I think the best way to learn is if we can adapt the system that just Sushant spoke about, I think we'll find most of our answers there. So that's how it works. Now, just to kind of tell you, I spoke about two models. One is an individual model where you work all by yourself. That investment starts around 7.5 lakhs. It's a 10-year license that we sign. 2.5 lakhs is towards your training fee, the 6 months training that you undergo to become a certified trainer with us, and 5 lakhs is the franchise fee, which gives you access to all our support, and it's a 10-year license that we sign. So your investment is, say, 75,000 rupees a year to make 10x of, maybe 100x of what you can actually make against the investments that you have made. So that's the individual model that we have. And in case you're looking at a bigger opportunity where you have exclusivity for a city and you can appoint coaches, build it like a structured coaching training business, then that investment starts around 15 lakh of rupees. But to kind of, I know we have 4 minutes to conclude, but in case you would like to understand the models much deeper, what's in it for you, how does it work, what's the support that you can expect from it, if you would like to have a one-on-one conversation with Sushant and his team to understand from them how Parvarish really works, we will be excited to take you through that journey as well. See, it's a knowledge-based business. You have to do your due diligence, and we are here to partner with you in that. It's a no commitment, no obligation process. So all we expect you is to put in some time, energy, and effort to understand the opportunity well, to understand the financials, to understand the business models. And I'm sure if you have a passion of bringing impact to someone else's life, this can be a great opportunity that you can start exploring. So I will type in our contact details. I'll also type in Sushant's contact details and email ID in the chat box. If you're a parent, most of the, you said, 63% of people today on the webinar are parents. If you want to experience the program first, you want to join Sushant's program where you can bring an impact to your children, then I think I can request Sushant, if he has some links handy of his next program when he's starting, probably he can post, or we can share it offline. You can reach out to us for that as well. And let's speak. You've invested about an hour with us today hearing about the opportunity, and I'm sure it kind of resonated with you. So let's spend a couple of more hours to do the due diligence on the opportunity and see if this can be your next future proof career move. So that's what I had to share. But now we are open for questions. If Bharat will allow us some time, maybe we can take a couple of questions from the audience, in case there are any. And otherwise, I'll just quickly type in the contact details in the chat box. Bharat, over to you.
Satyam, can I
Yeah, of course.
send the details of those programs a bit later? You can send them to them. Would that be
Yes,
possible?
absolutely, sir. We can.
I don't have handy. I will give it to you by the end of the day today. So we, as I said, we do open webinars every month. So anybody who wants to take a feel of it, see for themselves, more than happy to join that program. It'll be great.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure. I mean, you can share it with Satyam, and then we can
Sure.
cascade it later.
Sure. I will do that. I'll share it.
Sure. Meanwhile, my request is to all the attendees that in case if you still have any question, related to the business opportunity, you of course can put it into the Q&A box, and we will get back to you. And apart from that, Satyam also has shared his number. So you all are requested to get in touch with him post this webinar, and can have a discussion length. Yeah.
I also
Okay.
have shared Sushant's email ID, and I'm just typing in the contact number. But before we kind of conclude, any final words from your end, Sushant, and then I'll hand it over to Bharat to finally say goodbye to all our audience. Yeah, any final words?
What do I say? Yeah, I like, if you really ask me, my personal mission is been like, if I can get hold of any person who is a parent, get hold of him or her and say, boss, this is something which our children deserve, which you deserve, which I deserve. Uh, that each one of us is born with unlimited potential, and why do we operate with limiting self beliefs? And it's simple. Let's break them. Let's get down to making it happen for everybody. And And if anybody has any questions you want to talk about it, we can meet about it. And my team is available to make this happen. So then
Absolutely.
thanks. This is a great, and thanks for this opportunity. Thank
Thank you.
at
Thanks so
least
much, sir.
few people go and know about it.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for
Yeah, of
taking
course. I
the time,
mean,
and we won't
this was
hold you back. Yeah, Bharat, please continue. Yeah.
so this was not only knowing about the brand, but also, I mean, we had also a kind of glimpse of training, right? So we also had to learn a lots of things, right? Thank you so much for all the participants who also participated in all your questions and were quite interactive. So that was really a fantastic indeed. One of the best, webinar we did recently. So thanks so much, Sushantji, for sharing all the
Bharat, there's a
details,
question
taking
in
us
the
through with
Q&A.
some, yeah. Mhm.
Sorry, there's a couple of questions in the Q&A. You want to take them, or are we late?
Yeah. Yeah, of course, in case if
Yeah,
you
the
would like to
first one
answer,
was,
yeah.
I think, right at the start, somebody said, where are we based? We are actually based out of Delhi, but it doesn't matter. We've done this
Hmm.
work across the world. I've traveled, I've done this work across the country. Must have done it in 100 plus cities now. And somebody said, what's
Right.
the infrastructure requirement? Thanks to COVID, I'm actually, as I told you, I'm taking this session right there from a government school, sitting right under a tree. So you don't need anything, a table and a chair and a net connection, which works. I think beach में थोड़ी सी trouble होगी थी. It was working from my phone. So you virtually don't need any infrastructure except a laptop and.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's a very, very capital light business. Yeah. Thank you.
Absolutely right. So thanks so much, everyone whosoever attended and staying with us for last 1 hour. It was indeed a fantastic session today. I mean, in case if anyone would like to get in touch with us, either you can contact Satyam directly. He has already shared his number. Or in case if you would like to get in touch through our hotline number, that is 9717683838, or you can also write to us at feedback@franchiseindia.in. Tomorrow we will again come up with a new brand and we'll explore another business opportunity. Till then, thank you so much for joining us. Thanks so much, Susanji, for being with us.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you so
Bharat.
much,
Thanks a
Bharat.
lot.
Thank you so much, Sushant.
Thank you. Thank you.